Imagine a company so powerful that it can touch almost every aspect of your life, and you don't even know it. It controls social media, banking, shopping, gaming, and even influences Western culture. Most people haven't heard of it, but its name is Tencent, one of the largest and most influential companies on the planet. Today, we'll explore how Tencent went from a small messaging app to a global superpower, how it wields its influence, and why even the Chinese government keeps it in check. Apple sells devices. Google controls information. Meta owns attention. Tencent controls daily life. In China, Tencent is not optional. It's not entertainment. It's infrastructure. If Tencent went offline for one day, millions couldn't pay, work, communicate, or move around the country. Before we go deeper, here's a question for you. If one app controlled your money, your identity, and your communication, would you feel safe or trapped? Tencent started in 1998, not with innovation, but imitation. They copied an instant messaging platform and created QQ. At first, Tencent almost failed. The company was burning cash, couldn't monetize, and was close to collapse. Then they did something brilliant. They turned chat into a social world. Avatars, digital items, groups, games, status symbols. QQ wasn't software anymore. It was identity. In 2011, Tencent launched WeChat. This wasn't a chat app. It was an operating system for life. Pay rent, order food, send money, read the news, play games, run businesses, even access to government services. Soon, Chinese citizens weren't just using WeChat. They were living inside it. By the time Tencent reached hundreds of millions of users, something became very clear. Tencent's real product was never apps. Not WeChat. Not QQ. Not games. Not payments. Tencent's real product was human behavior. Every message sent. Every video watched. Every product bought. Every bill paid. Every game played. Every location is shared. Every face scanned. Every voice note recorded. All of it became data. And not just data in storage. Data in motion. Tencent could see patterns most governments could only dream of. They could see what teenagers were watching at 2 a.m. What couples argued about. What poor families saved for. What made people angry. What made them hopeful. What made them afraid. Tencent didn't need surveys. They had real life. They could watch trends form in real time. Before a product went viral, Tencent already saw it growing. Before a slang term spread, Tencent already saw it being typed. Before a political topic exploded, Tencent already saw it whispered. They weren't reacting to society. They were watching society's nervous system. This is where Tencent stopped being a software company and quietly became something else entirely. A behavioral laboratory, a national sensor network, a prediction engine. Because when you don't just serve users, when you observe them across communication, money, entertainment, work, shopping, location, and social life, you don't just know what people did. You start to know what they are about to do. And once you can predict behavior, you don't chase the future. You build it. When a company can watch nearly every part of daily life, communication, money, entertainment, movement, emotion, it doesn't just understand people, it understands society. But before we continue, I have a question for you. If a company can predict what people want before they know it, who really has free will? Inside Tencent, executives began to realize something. They no longer needed to compete the traditional way. They had three advantages: no startup, no corporation, and no foreign company could match. Massive traffic, massive capital, unmatched data. And in a series of closed-door strategy meetings, Tencent quietly reshaped its future. They stopped asking, "What products should we build?" and started asking, "What businesses should we grow?" Their new system was simple, deadly simple. Step 1. Let millions of businesses build directly inside WeChat. Shops, games, banks, schools, hospitals, delivery services, dating apps, insurance companies. Step 2. Watch everything. Which ones people use most? Which ones spread fastest? Which ones made money? Which ones controlled attention? Step 3. Invest in the winners. Not based on pitch decks, based on real behavior from hundreds of millions of users. Step 4. Then flood them with traffic. Front page placement, WeChat integration, payment priority, advertising support. Tencent no longer needed to guess unicorns. They could manufacture them. They could grow billion-dollar companies the way farmers grow crops. Test, measure, select, feed. No competitor on earth could do this, because no competitor lived inside people's pockets the way Tencent did. This wasn't venture capital anymore. This was industrialized success. Then Tencent turned to the most powerful digital drug ever created: games. Games weren't just entertainment. They were emotion engines, habit loops, social spaces, identity builders. Instead of competing for hits, Tencent bought the battlefield. They invested in Riot Games, the creators of League of Legends. They backed Epic Games, the engine behind Fortnite and Unreal. They took control of PUBG. They invested in Activision Blizzard. They bought into Supercell, Clash of Clans, Clash Royale, Brawl Stars. Slowly, quietly, Tencent became the largest gaming investor in human history. They didn't just own games. They owned engines, esports leagues, streaming ecosystems, mobile markets. If people escaped from reality, there was a good chance Tencent owned the door. And while players were focused on characters, weapons, and tournaments, Tencent was building the most profitable entertainment machine ever created. When millions escape into the same digital worlds, those worlds don't just entertain. They teach. They normalize. They influence. If one company controls the games millions escape into, can it influence how people think? Tencent didn't try to become a famous Western brand. They didn't need billboards. They didn't need love. They needed ownership. Instead of conquering markets, they bought pieces of them. Reddit, Discord, Snapchat, Spotify, Tesla, Ubisoft, Epic Games. They didn't sit on the front stage. They bought seats in the control room. No speeches, no press tours, no global hype. Just equity. While Americans argued about apps, Tencent quietly became embedded in the platforms shaping global culture. Conversations, music, communities, games, ideas. You could use Western platforms every day and never realize a Chinese giant sat somewhere in the background, watching, learning, earning. Then, the system reminded Tencent who truly ruled. In 2018, China froze new game approvals. Children were restricted from gaming. Content was censored. Algorithms were inspected. Executives were summoned. Tencent's growth stalled. For the first time in over a decade, profits fell. One of their biggest games, PUBG, was deemed inappropriate. So Tencent rebuilt it. The same engine, the same gameplay. But now, no blood, no death, patriotic themes, military imagery. It was renamed Game for Peace. The message was clear. Entertainment in China does not exist outside politics. And no matter how powerful Tencent became, it was never above the system. Then Jack Ma spoke, and the tech world froze. Ant Group's IPO was cancelled. Alibaba was investigated. Executives vanished from public view. Billions were erased. Entire empires were humbled. Tencent didn't speak. They watched. And they understood the new rule. Grow. Innovate. Profit. But never challenge the center. From that moment on, Tencent shifted. More partnerships. More alignment. More compliance. Power with permission. Today, Tencent still dominates China. Still moves billions. Still controls digital infrastructure. But now, it moves carefully. Quietly. Strategically. AI. Cloud computing. Virtual worlds. Smart cities. Enterprise systems. Tencent is no longer chasing attention. It is embedding itself into systems. And systems don't trend. They endure. Tencent is not just a company. It is evidence. That in the modern world, data is power. Platforms are nations. And technology is politics. If Tencent can shape reality inside China, how long before companies shape reality everywhere?